Well, let's go live now to Mississauga, where Peel Police are providing an update on the investigation into the sale of lethal substances to people at risk of self-harm.
So we can get to as many of you as possible. Additionally, if you have questions relating to other events, I ask that you hold on to them, and we will make a media officer available to you at the conclusion of this event. In early May, Peel Regional Police announced the arrest of 57-year-old Kenneth Law of Mississauga. This occurred after a month-long investigation into a sudden death that occurred in Peel Region, in which the victim was suspected to have consumed sodium nitrite. The substance was believed to have been purchased through an online company owned by Kenneth Law. As the investigation progressed, other victims were identified by partner agencies, and as a result, a multi-jurisdictional team of investigators was formed from across the province. I would now like to invite Inspector Simon James of York Regional Police to provide you with an update on this investigation. Inspector.
Thank you, Jen. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today as we provide an update into the investigation of Kenneth Law. My name is Inspector Simon James of the York Regional Police. Due to the nature of this investigation, we have implemented the province's multi-jurisdictional major case management system. This system ensures that police agencies across the province of Ontario share information in a timely manner and work collaboratively together. I am the multi-jurisdictional major case manager for this investigation, and my role is to ensure communication and collaboration between all involved police agencies. Please note, this continues to be a very active and very complex investigation. In order to protect the integrity of the investigation, I am limited on what details we can provide today. Furthermore, we will not be releasing any information regarding the identity of the victims in these cases. This is to respect the privacy of the victims and their family members and to maintain the integrity of the investigation. On behalf of the investigative team, we offer our sincerest condolences to the loved ones of those we have lost due to these unimaginable set of circumstances. We continue to offer support to the friends, the family members, and the survivors. As you are aware, this investigation began as a result of a sudden death in Peel Region, where the victim was suspected to have consumed sodium nitrite purchased through an online company believed to be owned by Kenneth Law. As this investigation has progressed, we've alerted the public that in addition to packages or labels identifying sodium nitrite, to also be vigilant about the distribution of hoods and/or masks that could be used to cause self-harm. As previously released, Mr. Law was believed to be associated with additional companies that were registered under the following names, and they can be seen on the screen beside me, the proper spelling. Those companies are I'm Time Cuisine, Ambuca, Academic, Escape Mode, and Ice Mac. In May 2023, a multi-jurisdictional task force was formed consisting of 11 police agencies from across the province of Ontario. Those agencies are the Peel Regional Police, the York Regional Police, the Toronto Police Service, the Durham Regional Police, the Ontario Provincial Police, the London Police Service, the Waterloo Regional Police, the Windsor Police Service, the Ottawa Police Service, Thunder Bay Police Service, and the Barrie Police Service. All of these agencies have been and continue to assist with this investigation, as it is believed that individuals within those regions may have received packages from Kenneth Law. Mr. Law was charged by Peel Regional Police with 2 counts of counseling and aiding suicide in May of 2023. Today, I can share the police have laid an additional 12 charges of counseling or aiding suicide. These charges were laid at the Newmarket courts, and moving forward, all 14 charges will be heard at that location. The new charges are from the following regions: 4 in the City of Toronto, 1 additional charge in the region of Peel, bringing the total number of charges in Peel region to 3, 3 in the region of York, 1 in the region of Durham, 1 in the City of London, 1 in the City of Thunder Bay, and 1 in the region of Waterloo. We are aware of police investigations going on in other jurisdictions outside of the province of Ontario, and we are cooperating and sharing information with law enforcement on a global scale. This investigation and these charges today relate to Ontario only. Let us be clear that we will not tolerate criminal actions by those who prey on vulnerable individuals in our communities, and we will hold those responsible accountable. We ask that the public be cautious and vigilant of online activities. If you have received a package from any of the companies I've mentioned earlier, we urge you to contact your local police. If you or anyone you know has spoken to Kenneth Law about self-harm, or if you have noticed payment or transactions related to any one of these companies, please contact us at our dedicated tip line at 1-888-714-0003. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can also call via Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. To those struggling with their mental health, please know that there is help. If you require mental health assistance, you can call the Suicide Helpline at 1-833-456-4566. Thank you. I will now take a few questions.
Good morning, Inspector.
Hi.
I realize this investigation began in the spring, as you mentioned. When did Canadian law enforcement first become aware, or when was Canadian law enforcement first alerted to Kenneth Law's businesses?
I can only speak to this investigation and the incidents that we're investigating right now. And that would have been in late March, early April, when the Peel Regional Police were conducting an investigation into a death where sodium nitrite was suspected to be the cause of death.
Britain's National Crime Agency has said that 88 deaths are being reviewed in that country. In all, and I should say, other police jurisdictions have always pointed us back to Peel Regional Police for questions. In all, how many deaths are being reviewed or have been reviewed for links to Kenneth Law?
Yeah, I cannot speak to the total number of deaths as it's an active and ongoing investigation at this time. What I can say is we believe 1,200 packages, over 1,200 packages, were sent out to over 40 countries globally. That does not mean that in every package there may have been sodium nitrite or masks or what have you, but we are following up and looking into all of those packages.
Just to clarify, I realize, just to clarify,
Yep.
has anyone else come up in this investigation, or is Kenneth Law the only person you are investigating?
Well, we're looking at the investigation from a very broad scope, but I can't get into any specific details at this time because it's still very active.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Inspector. Beyond the jurisdictions in Ontario and Britain that we're aware of, how many other police jurisdictions are involved in this with respect to victims, police ongoing investigations?
Well, in Ontario, there's 11 jurisdictions that are looking into these activities within the province. Globally, I don't have a number at this time that I could share.
To follow up then, would you be made aware of that? Like what kind of, you talked about this being a global effort, global investigation, so, and you're coordinating that, correct?
Our team is focusing on Ontario charges. However, we're communicating and sharing info with police services from all over the world.
So how do we get a handle then on how many potential victims there are, or how many investigations there are?
Well, as far as specific investigations, I can't speak for other agencies in other countries. All I can do is speak to our cases here in Ontario. But I can tell you that our investigative team is regularly in contact with police services from outside of the country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned that police became aware of the first death in March, April, around that time period. Is there anything more you could say about how long Kenneth Law has been operating these websites in general?
We believe since late 2020. That's an approximate.
Is there anything more police have learned about his motivation?
We're actively still investigating that, but it's not something that I can speak to today.
Yeah. Good morning, Inspector. Thanks for the update. Since, as per sources, it is believed that there were around 1,200 packages, and there were 40 countries who were involved in it. Is there any update about that?
No, not. We believe over 1,200 packages may have been sent out. We don't know what all those packages contained.
Okay.
And they were sent to over 40 countries globally. In Canada, this is an approximate number. We believe an approximate number of 160 packages were sent out.
Okay. Moreover, since we know that there were more than 40 countries involved in it, and obviously it is not a matter of just one person dealing with all the thing that was happening. So is there any update on the number of people who are involved in it, or have you come to know about any other individual or maybe a group of people involved in this?
Yeah, I can't speak to the total number of individuals at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
As someone who's investigating the matter, do you personally have any kind of reaction? Like, what goes through your mind when you think about these, like 12 more charges laid, the possibility of there being more?
Well, what first goes through my mind is the families of all of the loved ones involved in this. I mean, it's a very difficult case also for the police investigators to investigate. But my heart goes out to the family members of those who we have lost.
And I know you said you can't say anything more about the victims, but is there, I don't know, like, is there something you could tell us maybe about the first victim, like what were they going through?
I can't give specifics to the victims, but what I will say in general terms is that the victims were Ontario residents. They were both male and female, between the ages of 16 and 36 years of age.
And just to follow up, can you give us a number of, we believe at least this many people in Ontario have lost their lives connected to this investigation. Is there enough? You said there's 11 jurisdictions in Ontario looking at this. Can you give us a sense of?
There's 11 police agencies involved. As far as the specific number, I can't speak to that. Each of these charges relates to someone who has passed away. So 14 is how many charges we've laid at this point.
Okay. And can you talk about sodium nitrate? Do you know where it was sourced from? Was it sourced from the same location each time? Do we know anything about the quantities that were being purchased or anything else?
We are aware of where it was coming from, but it's not something that I can speak to as it's still very active, our investigation. I don't want to compromise that at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you speak French at all?
I do not.
No, perfect.
Sorry.
So 12 new charges today. Do we expect that there could be more potential victims in Ontario? Or?
If more charges come, we would communicate that to the public. At this time, we have 12 new charges, and there's 2 previous, so it's 14 is the total.
Are we done reviewing like the cases or the package sent in Ontario? Or?
We have a lot of resources in this from all of those police services that I mentioned, conducting reviews, and still very heavily into this investigation at this time.
Sorry, last question for me. You mentioned earlier there were masks and head wraps that were used or sent. Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we've put out a safety warning for that in the past with images. I don't want to speak to how they are used in the interest of public safety, but it's something that we would like people to be very vigilant if they see masks or we'll be releasing the pictures today, actually, so you'll see images of them. They will be in slightly larger packaging, and when you see the photos of them, you'll be able to look at what they look like. But I don't want to get into how they actually are shaped and how they work.
Mm-hmm. And Law was allegedly sending these packages from like a Mississauga area code. Is police working with any of the carriers in terms of like how they deliver packages or how they might investigate what is inside of these packages when they're delivered or anything like that?
We're working with individuals from all over the province.
This is going to be the last question.
Sure. You said it was obviously online. Do you know what sites or whereabouts was this going on? How were people finding Kenneth Law?
We are aware of the sites. However, I won't be saying that publicly in the interest of public safety at this time. I believe many of them have been shut down. Some are maybe from other countries. Okay.
Thank you very much for attending for this update. If you have any questions relating to any other events in the region, we will make a media officer available.
We've been getting an update from Peel Police on the investigation into the sale of lethal substances to people at risk of self-harm. We've been learning more about the new charges against Kenneth Law. He is now facing 12 new charges of counselling or aiding suicide. All 14 of these charges, he was facing 2 previously, will be heard at Newmarket Court. We found out that some of these new charges stem from investigations here in Toronto and Peel Region, York, Durham, London, Thunder Bay, and Waterloo. We also heard that Peel Police is also cooperating and sharing information with law enforcement on a global scale.